Welcome to episode 301.
Damn, 301.
301.
That's serious.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to look that number up later.
Like angel number? Oh, I got you. Yeah.
I'm
I love
lead
angel
with whatever
numbers.
it is all day now.
Yes. We'll look it up after too. I'm actually curious myself.
Cool.
I'm with Kelly Codrington.
It's me.
She owns K Collections Photography. That's you.
Yeah, it's my show, primarily, solely.
Beautiful. All you. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you work with any subcontractors?
I do. I have a few like solid staples that I've been working with for a few years that call on me, and that's always like a good thing, right? Because they see value in you. So yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
She works with Bro Media Solutions as one of our subcontractors for photography. She does awesome work.
Thank you. So
Awesome
much.
branding work.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
So we wanted to really just talk about, our industry today. And one of the biggest things that we always go back and forth on is how oversaturated it is.
Dude, like you have no idea like how much I've just been using that word because it's getting like very like it's very hard to stay above the feeling of feeling deflated right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Are your cameras
Just
good?
yeah. Just pull the mic closer to you.
Oh, hey.
There you go.
Boom. Better?
Boom. Way
Okay.
better. Way better. Beautiful.
I almost feel like what we're doing is very like trending right now, even compared to like 2 to 3 years ago. And then you don't want to be that person because you want to like celebrate everybody's, goals and dreams and ambitions. But I think that it's also being devalued in the saturation.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It comes down to like supply. If you want to get into a nerd level, it comes down to like supply and demand.
Correct.
And there's so much of it in this area.
Right.
Not in the country. Because if you go upstate,
if
you go to Maine, Arkansas.
So you're saying we're going to have to like move. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's just like maybe. I don't know.
Listen, I've often thought about like leaving Long Island and then I'm like, but wait, you own a business here. But like maybe like it would be a lot easier to like get your feet wet somewhere else right now. I think it's a very valid point.
They all see it.
Right.
But they don't know anyone that does it.
I wonder why that is.
Well, a lot of rural America is more focused on just like the traditional,
less superficial stuff.
The less superficial,
Let's be real.
And then we live next to a metropolitan area, so it's all super. Everyone wants to be a gymfluencer and a OnlyFans and a whatever the fuck, and it's
Feet Finder. Do you have?
That's a classic.
I feel like everybody is really like, it's just my feet.
It's my feet. It's crazy. Yo, we could do AI feet too, and then we could just sell that.
Wait, you can like generate AI foot art. It's genius. Anybody?
I'm gonna make some extra money. So no, but it's crazy because like even on Long Island, there's like some people are like, oh, why don't you go check out some of the bars? And it's like, I do.
Right.
But like for my video works and because Bro Media Solutions, we're a multifaceted media company. We handle everything from social media to weddings. Okay. But you got to be careful when you approach a restaurant, a bar, a gym, because they've been approached every day.
So what I've learned with branding, right? Because I feel like that's also like a huge buzzword. Everyone's like branding. And I'm like, listen, if I'm going to pour my heart and soul into creating branding content, I better really know what branding is. And I have like a degree in marketing. I still, didn't have a full concept of what it is. And I feel like people are investing so much in like the topical stuff of what branding is, like your logo, your colors, blah, 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 blah. It's not branding. Like branding is the psychology about how you're connecting with your audience.
Yes.
And I think people really need to realize that a little bit harder right now. So, yeah.
It's not just looking cool on Instagram.
No.
And a lot of what I do, like the way I focus on getting this stuff done is exposure every day. So I focus a lot on the numbers.
Yeah.
The number aspect.
I'm not a number girl. I'm like a throw it to the wind, but it's always just kind of worked for me.
I see. And that, listen, if it works,
it's like an intuition.
But you're also an artist too. So
I really
it shows.
Appreciate that. It's still weird for me to hear because I always thought like artists, like they put like a pen to paper. That's an artist. But somebody just told me yesterday, they're like, you're a visual artist. I'm like,
yeah,
you
are.
Thank
and
you.
So it's a different approach that still works.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I am, but I know how numbers work.
That's okay.
And the way, it's so crazy. When someone explained to me how social media works, they're like, social media is just a big video game. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's a great way to approach it.
It's a virtual world. Period.
So it's like, what do you value in video games? Statistics and progress. So
and winning. Numbers. At the end of the day, isn't that what everyone's obsessed with? How many people liked my post?
Yeah.
How many people are following me? Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's like one of our biggest products is like Now, I love podcasting because it allows you to express yourself, but it blends so well with social media that every business that I talk to, because I only really do business to business,
right?
They want more customers, they want more leads, they want more generation in that capacity. So the way I look at it is, okay, well, I can get you anywhere between 30 to 60,000 views a month on YouTube if we do a podcast every week.
Right.
And I get 30 reels from that podcast. So that's 120 reels posted a month.
Beautiful.
So that generates to that amount of output. So you will be seeing 60,000 people will be seeing you a month.
I love that. You really are a numbers guy. What I do have to say though, right, about that concept and like the energy I poured into that thought process is like, all right, great. So you're setting them up for the win, you're bringing them in, but like now what are you doing as a business to keep them and like fulfill your promise that you advertised as to who you are? It's a big deal for me.
I don't promise numbers.
Not you. I'm talking like the business themselves.
Oh,
so
I
like
see.
not you. So like just speaking as a photographer, right? Because you're the numbers guy. You're the make sure that like, you know, it hits the platform correctly. And so like visually, are we going to keep up with, you know, the vibe that you laid down? You know, like it's really important to make sure that a business is truly connected to their intentions with their platform is where I'm going with that. Yeah. Like just speaking above what you do.
What I notice is a lot of businesses don't really even have a brand.
They don't know what it is. And that's the problem. And that's why people are falling flat on branding, which is why I think it's amazing. We're sitting and having this conversation. It's literally a meeting of like two amazing minds like that really know what they're doing.
Because like the podcast is cool because it gives, okay, now you're branding yourself as personable and reachable with the podcast. But then you need to also make your print products mirror that, and you need to make your your emails.
Right. Like just going back to the premise of the whole topic of this, you know, we're talking like, you know, industry and saturation, like it's becoming like saturated because people think it just stops at the, well, I did a cool podcast and we had fun and I threw it out there. How are you following that up as a business now? Like, are you staying consistent with what you deliver?
And then they expect us to also get them business. And I tell people market, and I, you know, my friend Ryan from Movers Group, he owns a media company on the island as well. And he said it best. And I've been rolling with it since he told me this.
You're friends with other people in the industry. Can you believe that, people? It's actually a real thing.
It's a real thing. We all talk, by the way. So when y'all try to play us, we know. We know who to fuck with and who not to. Just so you know, we see you. But
so Movers. Okay. So you actually elevate each other is where this is heading.
So we have like a monthly like call where we just like check in with each other and try to like help each other.
Beautiful.
And he said it best where it was like marketing and sales are two different things. We're in marketing, not sales.
Correct. 110%. We're creatively like helping you create your culture. We're not here to sell it.
Yeah. Like if you're on a boat. And you know where the harbor is. You want to get to the harbor. You just can't see it. The lighthouse just lets you know that the harbor's there.
I like
so you don't hit a rock.
Okay.
The harbor's the salesman at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Correct.
So it's just like, we're just letting people know about your product. If your product sucks after like 500,000 people see it and nothing's happening, that's on you.
Correct.
That's not on us to get you business.
Accountability. You know? Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's, I mean, it's not up to us to do that. So we just have to show people the product. And again, like a lot of people think they're also geniuses because they could just go buy a camera and that they could kind of do something cool. And then they'll charge $100 for a video shoot.
That right there. Like, you know, the whole like portfolio building thing, I respect it. Like I try to really not knock people that I can tell are clearly like believe they have a passion and they really want to go somewhere with it and they have dreams because I was once there. However, I think there's a difference between doing free work to build your portfolio and charging $100 to build your portfolio. If you're building your portfolio, you're building your portfolio. I don't think you should charge until you're ready to charge the industry standard, because now you're ruining it for I did a lot. I mean, I've been in the game really my whole life, but actively for the last 6 years. First 2 years of my career, the amount of free work that I did to prove who I am and what I'm capable of, that's my theory. And now I respect the people who got pissy that I was willing to do a job for $75. I was there, but I just didn't stay there long because I get it. And I respect it.
Yeah. I was the same way. I would do in college. I would be
college.
like, listen,
I mean, fair enough. You'd be willing to negotiate a YouTube clip for a 12 pack. I get it.
yeah, no, that's exactly. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, can you buy me a pack of Newports and I'll do this for you? And it'd be like a 12-hour shoot for a pack of Newports. You know what I mean? Like, I needed that. I loved my menthol back then. Oh my
Newports.
God.
I used to smoke Newports.
You did too. Did you smoke the hundreds? Yes. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Did you ever like clip them though?
No, I never clipped them. I just
well.
smoked the whole thing down to the filter and then I flicked it.
Yeah. Do people still smoke Newports? Probably not.
Some people do.
Really?
Some people do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know like back in my day, like if I don't know if you're gonna have to edit this, but if you were a smoker, then Newport just kind of like exaggerated where you already were.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in her head. I don't know, but
it was like you're a rock bottom with the Newports.
Yeah.
I smoked Lucky Strikes at one point. That was rock bottom.
Okay.
That was rock.
Wow. Well, no. I can one up you. Back in our day, we used to go to the bodega and buy Lucy's. So the guy behind, do you know about Lucy's?
Yeah, of course I know about Lucy's.
So you'd be like, let me get like 2 Lucy's. I don't know. Maybe it was like $2 for 2 cigarettes.
Dollar cig. Yeah. $6. There was this guy.
It built character. You know what? Judge all you want. It's okay.
There was this guy at Speedway. I went to school at Oneonta.
Oh, Stonianta.
Yeah. So we did more than cigarettes.
Sure.
And we were at Speedway one day and this guy set up a table and he was hand rolling cigarettes and selling them in the Speedway.
No, hand rolling cigarettes?
Yeah, like not with his hand, but like he had like the plastic machine.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is so illegal. Let me get 10 of them. Like, please.
I want in on whatever it is that's in those.
I want whatever the fuck this is. Like, yeah.
Unfortunately, though, like I'd even be scared to sell like off market cigarettes. Like it's crazy times. Well, I'm glad I had my fun when I did.
Oh yeah,
You know
now
what I mean?
now you can't have fun at all
No.
because everyone's got a fucking camera.
Yeah, I know. My son plays sports in college, and they legit were like, you can mess up your entire career. Like just proceed with caution.
Yeah,
so it's a very real thing.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, so where were we headed?
We were talking. Well, I mean, it's just so easy for people to get involved in this because, like, we were saying, like, about like
people are willing to work for nothing, and you get caught in a very vicious, mind-numbing burnout cycle. I promise you that. Like anybody that's
you'll be done in 3 years.
You're literally that's the burnout period for a creative who is making a living off of being a creative. You will burn out. You will resent it. You will hate it, and it just won't work. So it's okay to maybe fumble, do it a little bit in the beginning, but catch yourself.
I did that for the first 6 months of business. I severely undercharged because I was like, okay, like I'm good enough to make a living, but I'm not good enough yet to charge X amount of dollars for social media. Now I am.
Right.
Now I charge. And even so, my prices are still considered too low.
Yeah.
Because there's people that'll charge $3,500 a month for 3 Canva posts a month. I'm charging $2,500 a month for 4 video shoots, 3 hours long. You get like 2 10-minute interviews. You get a bunch of content reels.
Yeah.
And I have enough to post every day for like a month and a half.
To me, that seems like a very fair, like somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And that's what I try to do is to make it somewhere in the middle. And I also educate my clients.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of media companies take advantage of people that don't understand what it is.
And they're just throwing them the content without even explaining to them, this is why, and this is how you're going to follow up with it. And I'll even give you a few tips until like the next time we create as to what you could do with it. That's shiesty. I don't like
It's so shiesty.
Yeah.
And then they'll lock them in. I remember I was canvassing a mortgage company. They locked into a contract with a guy for $5,000 a month.
Okay.
And he posted once a month.
God. Wait, can we talk about the companies that go in, promise the world, and then buy followers for their clients?
I just had that happen 2 days ago.
How? How? That should be illegal. There should be ramifications in our industry for that occurring because it is becoming a really big problem.
Absolutely.
You just had this combo. Tell me about
so
it.
I have my dad hired a guy that also my dad is in financial services industry and there's a guy across the hall from him that does something similar to us.
Okay.
And he comes into my office a few days ago and he's like, hey, listen, like something's going on with my social media account.
It's about to get shut down.
Yeah. So you got a phone call. No, you're good.
It's definitely a telemarketer.
Oh, 100%.
Anyway,
so
just keep going.
Pretty much what happened was his social media account has these fake like AI generated pictures.
Yeah.
And they get like 500 likes, 200 likes.
Horrible.
But what I'm not understanding is like his followers aren't increasing and his monthly engagement was 143.
Oh, wow.
But his reach was 3.8 thousand. So something wasn't making sense there.
Because it's all
fake.
Fake.
So I went through his posts. I clicked the likes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go randomly scrolling, and then I click
2
an account.
followers, 43 followers, no followers.
0 followers, 0 followers, 0 followers, 0 followers. Disgusting. So I told him, I'm like, this guy's paying for followers. And I'm like, if you hired me.
That's so sad.
It is. And
you're genuinely, and it takes months. And that's what people don't understand as well. When you're doing it the right way, you're not going to see immediate results. We would be shysters if we promised immediate results. Correct?
Sometimes you get lucky.
Okay.
And you have one client where it's like one client I had 700 views on his first podcast. I have no idea how.
Wow.
But like,
it's the algorithm gods.
It really is.
Yeah.
But then what happened was New York State passed a law that changed social media algorithms to prevent people under 18 from being marketed. This is literally happening
right now, right?
Yes. Yeah. And I noticed a month and a half ago, all of my accounts had a massive dip in viewership. So either actual children were watching the content or it was accounts that were like child accounts.
There's probably just some bugs in the system right now too, like with anything else.
I don't really know how they would be able to tell like how old a user is based on, because it could also be a parent that's watching it,
right?
But their kids have like, they give it to their kids to watch like Nickelodeon and shit.
Isn't it crazy? Like what a way of life, like social media, like really.
It's a gamble. It feels like the stock market.
Yeah, it really does.
It feels like the stock market.
It really does, especially when you're invested. It's a career. Like and that's what like people don't get. Just like from a photographer, clearly you're in marketing, so that is your main jam. But like I talk to so many photographers and they're like, I suck at social media. I don't want to do social media. And I'm like, it's part of it. Like it or hate it, fight it or not. Like I'm all over social media. Like my photography is like only maybe 40% of what I'm doing at this point. Then there's the marketing and the editing and then the actual production. And that also plays into, you know, why we're valuing ourselves. This is not for the weak right now.
And trust me, I hate social media. I really don't like it, but I have to use it.
Don't you feel so like refreshed if you just put it down for a day?
It was the weirdest thing in the world to do. So after COVID,
I literally am like, I don't know like even what to do with my hands when I don't have my phone.
I know it's really bad. It's I used to not be like that until COVID happened.
Okay.
And then I was like, I used to read all the time. I never watched television. I just read. I played video games. I went out. I skateboarded. Now I go to the gym. I work and everything.
Right.
But like phone. What am I doing? Phone. What am I doing?
I'm literally never on my phone.
It's so bad, right?
And I know it and I hate it. But like, I literally feel like if there was like a program that like where you could define whether or not you were addicted, I'm addicted.
Yeah,
I have no problem admitting it.
The other day, I put my phone down. I put it on Do Not Disturb and I just didn't look at it for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
Before I went to bed, and then I didn't look at it for 2 hours after I woke up, and I was like, wow.
Get in the habit of like just doing that.
Yeah.
Even just like friendships, relationships, like I'm very careful to feel like I'm not in a friendship or a relationship with literally my inbox. Like I'm very like, you know, as I get older, I'm like, let's have like a physical like conversation because people don't know how to do that anymore.
They don't, or they think it's weird or it's intimidating.
Well, they just don't know the art form of carrying a conversation. Yeah. I had this conversation with my son who's in college. Nobody believes I have a college age kid, but I do. And I love it. And he's like, Mom, he's like, I want to go out, but like everybody just wants to like sit around and not go out and not do anything. And I'm like, it's a very real thing since like COVID and like your generation, they just kind of missed out on the art form of like talking to people.
COVID really fucked them up.
Badly.
It
fucked adults up.
Oh, yeah.
So never mind people that were already still building their social skills during that time period.
Actual adults cooked.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Yes.
Cooked.
Yes.
And
yes. Let's normalize living life again, people.
Well, I would even go to parties and like I'd go to frat parties and then I'd go to like regular parties. Yeah. And I saw this more at frat parties than I did regular parties.
Okay.
And the frat kids would always like just be on their phones in the corner. Like all the guys would be in one corner and all the girls would be in another corner doing like the same thing. It was so weird.
Isn't that funny? Like what you would think the definition of cool, right? Because you hear regular party, frat party sounds like it would be the cooler party.
Yeah.
As I got older, I realized what was cool was actually corny.
Yeah, the corny shit was always fun. I went to like these underground basement shows.
Yeah.
And they'd play like punk and grunge and shit.
I loved that.
It was awesome. No one was on their phone. We were all like fucked up listening to music, moshing in a basement. That was real.
Yeah.
I had the most fun doing that and the most social
it.
development doing that.
Yeah.
And then all my friends that were in frats, they were just like, you want to do whippets? And, and they would just eye fuck each other from across the room and not say anything for like, it was so weird. That's like
creepy.
It was creepy. And it's because they just don't know how to socialize. And they're like, basically like boot camp.
Yeah.
You know, for the first 6 weeks, and then they're just like cooked.
Wow.
There's no de-escalation from that either.
Right.
It was stupid.
Yeah. So, we covered a lot.
I think we did cover a lot. How long have we been at this already?
20-ish minutes.
20-ish minutes?
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
What's the moral of the story here today?
The moral of the story? I mean, it's don't undersell yourselves.
Don't undersell yourselves.
Don't undersell. Yeah, that's really what bothered me the most is, especially in this, I get a lot of people that come to me and they're like, oh, how much is a video shoot? And I say, oh, it's like $1,000. And they're like, oh, like we have someone that does it for $300.
You're like, of course you do.
Of course you do. Then why are you not using them?
Why you're still looking? Because something isn't sitting
Something
right.
isn't sitting right. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, 100%. I read this theory and we can like close it out like on your feelings about it. I had read like a meme. I don't know how you say it. A meme. And it said it's not the price, it's your salesmanship that's the problem. And I sat and I thought about that for a minute and I'm like, nope, I'm not accepting that as a theory. Like, you know,
I don't really agree with that because my salesmanship's on point.
I don't agree with that either.
I've made consistent, when I started, I made consistent profit. Actually, I've been making consistent profit up until I took out this office. But
I'm gonna bring you some sage. We're gonna clear out the space.
We're gonna have to clear it out because it feels kind of negative. I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. I mean, right now it doesn't. Like, this is great, like table conversation. But yeah, no,
it's just too bland.
What did I say when I walked in the door? I'm like, how are you feeling? Because I remember you saying like, it's not like the best juju here. And I felt it for you. I'm a complete empath. So I walked through the door and I'm like, he is not alive in this space right now.
No, it's so corporate and weird. Yeah. I just took it because it was so cheap.
Right.
And I was like, this is disgusting.
Maybe you need to like do something with like, right, feng shui is like a big deal. I feel like you need a little couch in here first off.
Yeah, if I could fit it.
To like maybe put some of like your work, like I don't know if you do any like stills, but maybe like some of your work or inspirational stuff up in here.
Yeah.
It's corporate because maybe you were like being too serious.
Honestly, I don't even know how to decorate. That's really the problem. I'm gonna be so real with you.
Podcast, I'm gonna be like hanging shit as we talk. Yeah.
My mom bought me that painting over there. She bought this clock, that wood thing. She's like, you need decorations. I'm like, you're right.
Yeah, but you're also young. We need to get cooler stuff in here.
Yeah, this looks too.
It looks a little like you're taking yourself too seriously.
Yeah, and I'm not even trying to. That's the fucked up part.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I gotta get some cool posters in here.
Okay,
but
with frames, you know.
Okay,
yeah, fun, but you know,
frames.
professional fun.
Professional fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
That's not a contradiction, right?
No,
I don't think so. Okay.
No, listen, I love living outside of the rules. I became a creative, a full-time professional creative because I am not meant to follow the rules. Even like composition and crap, like I'm going to veer a little bit and then we can wrap it. But people will be like, their foot's cut off. Like that's a horrible picture. And I'm like, I didn't like, and I respect the art form. I do. I understand like composition. I respect it, but like, I'm going to still put it out there because I fell in love with it for other reasons. And I don't care what somebody else, like as a professional, I always care what my client thinks. I'm open and receptive to feedback, but like, I don't really care what other people in my industry think.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really big attitude that you have to adapt. So, because if you're going to be afraid to make moves because you're wondering who's judging and what they're thinking, good luck.
I also noticed a trend too where people speak very corporate in our industry, and just very like we're like, I don't know. It's just like a fakeness almost, and it's like there's no need for that.
No,
like,
I drop F-bombs when I'm shooting. I mean, if I'm not with children, of course, but like you're getting the authentic me. I've even had some people say you post too much of your personal stuff on your business account, and I'm like, this is who I am. It's like authentically who I am. And I want to be more than just your photographer. Like I literally like want to be your friends and I want you to come back to me for years. And I'm okay with that. And if somebody's judging me because I'm going through something and I'm vocal about it, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool.
Seriously, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
you're still using me, right?
Correct. And if they're not, then you just weren't my people. Like, it's more than a career. It's like, it's more than a career for
It's
me.
way more than a career. It's a
Yeah.
life.
A
You know,
life.
it's a life that we're trying to build. And
Yeah.
I also didn't like being told how to create or what to create.
No, which is why you don't like, well, like working for, like, I remember you were saying like collaborating with somebody who respects your work and it's like a give and take, like what we're doing, beautiful. But to actually go and like be indebted to somebody's hours and sit behind a desk and literally like take directives and then back into their vision, never happening.
It wasn't worth it. And then
No.
the pay wasn't worth it either.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, thank you for coming on
Thank
the
you for
show.
having me, Anthony.
You're very welcome. Why don't you
Yeah.
drop some of your socials and where people can find you?
K Collections Photography LI on Instagram, K Collections Photography on Facebook. I have a studio on Main Street in Patchogue. So if you just Google me, that will all come up and you can reach out to me however, email, text, inbox.
Smoke signal.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I'm here for it and I'm pretty responsive. So yeah.
Groovy. Well,
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening to episode 301.
Bye.
And until next time.
Yay.